everybody. What is going on with this crazy low inventory market? There's a housing inventory crunch and what it means for buyers and sellers. Housing inventory remains near historic lows in many markets. Buyers are fighting over fewer available homes, especially on Long Island. Sellers are gaining leverage, but not always in the ways you think, because in many ways they're pricing some of the houses way above where the market is willing to pay. So could today's inventory shortage create tomorrow's housing crisis? We'll have to find out as we go along. But what happens next could impact home values, affordability, and your ability to move, especially with the interest rates being where they are right now, and the new Fed chair who's being pressured by Trump to lower the interest rates. I don't think that's the answer, because that'll just make prices go even higher. He's trying to do that probably to decrease the cost of our $38 trillion national debt. So why is housing inventory so low? The reason is millions of homeowners are locked in by ultra-low mortgage rates that they refinanced in 2020, 21, and 22. Homeowners have 2 to 4% mortgage rates and are kind of reluctant to trade up to a 6 to 7% rate unless they have a lot of equity in their current home. They can take some of that cash, a greater amount, put it down, and have a much smaller mortgage. So then it wouldn't make a difference if the rates are higher. New home construction has failed to keep pace with population growth. So it's important to understand there aren't any low-priced homes on Long Island. So whatever they're building appears to be between $800,000 and higher. So if you go into Suffolk, you might find a house for $800,000, but the first-time buyer probably can't afford that. Many potential sellers are delaying moves because replacement homes are scarce, at least the size and the price they want to pay. Investors continue holding properties longer than expected, but that'll change as they refinance some of their investments and the numbers don't make sense anymore. The cash flow will be reduced or eliminated, and there'll be negative cash flow. How has the inventory crunch affected buyers? Increased competition for desirable properties has caused prices to go up and bidding wars to become a normal situation with some homes. More bidding wars and escalation clauses. Buyers often waive contingencies to remain competitive, which may not put them in a good position in the long run, depending on whether the house needs more improvements or whether extra costs come to, about in the future. Rising home prices despite higher mortgage rates. Inventory is so low, competition so fierce, raises the price, which is eliminating certain buyers who just can't get that mortgage. First-time home buyers face the greatest challenge entering the market because they have limited inventory, prices are higher, many of them are leaving New York State to go to lower cost states which don't have income tax. That means Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, I think Tennessee also. So there's an increased competition for these desirable properties. The importance of getting a pre-approval before shopping is important. So you want to get a commitment letter subject to an appraisal, or what we would call a pre-approval. There's a surprising advantage for buyers. Some sellers are becoming more realistic on pricing, And they're also giving out mortgages. Not everybody, but those that have higher priced homes who have built up a lot of equity and appreciation, they want to avoid or minimize the capital gains, which can be anywhere from 0 to 20%. My suggestion to some sellers, give out the mortgage 5, 10, 15 year. Get a great interest rate for the buyer, lower than what the current rate is. Pay less capital gains from 0 to 20%. That all depends on what their income is in the year that they're getting those payments from the buyer. Certain markets are seeing longer days on the market, which puts a little more motivation to the seller to lower the price and again, provide a mortgage to that buyer. There are more opportunities for negotiation on homes that need updating. So if the price is too high and the house needs a lot of work, there's room there. If the seller is smart, they'll adjust the price. New construction may offer incentives unavailable from resale homes. That's if it's affordable. Not every buyer can afford a new home, especially in Long Island. Buyers who stay patient may uncover some hidden opportunities as we go along in this market. But with inventory being this low and sellers not selling, the construction is too expensive for this first-time buyer. Now, how do sellers benefit? Sellers can benefit because there's limited competition for other listings because the inventory is so low. Greater visibility for properly marketed homes. If you market it properly, you do your virtual tours, you do very clear and concise photos. This will help in getting exposed to as many eyeballs as possible. Strong pricing power in desirable neighborhoods that have great schools, great transportation, great extracurricular activities, cultural events, concerts in the parks, as some towns have. Well-maintained homes continue attracting multiple offers. So if your curb appeal is there, and you have great landscaping and lighting, as well as interior with less clutter, I impress upon sellers, reduce your clutter. So when people not only see it from the curb, looks great, they walk in, they went, wow, this place is unbelievable. So that's important. Because if you do that, then you'll have a better chance of not only one offer, but multiple offers. There'll be much faster sales compared to balanced markets, where the inventory is balanced with the demand for the property. There are challenges for sellers that they still face. Overpricing, as I've mentioned, can still cause a home to sit on the market unsold. Where it's on the market, the lower the offers come in, and then you have your bottom fishers. Buyers are more payment incentive than ever before because of the price and the cost with the interest rates. Higher mortgage rates reduce the pool of qualified buyers. Sellers to need to buy another home face the same inventory shortage. Where will I move next dilemma? So if they can't find a home, they're not going to list their house. So that's important to keep that in mind. The impact on home prices is important. Low inventory continues supporting prices in many regions, especially in Long Island. Prices are not rising uniformly across all states. Our prices have gone up single digits, where in other states they've actually come down. Double digits, it all depends on where it's located. The prices may be rising uniformly across all states. They're not rising uniformly. It varies depending on location. Local supply and demand matter more than national headlines. So you can't read the papers and say across the board prices are either going way up all over or way down. It depends on the region and the state. So that's important. Some areas are seeing price stabilization rather than rapid appreciation. Understanding your local market is critical. So you've got to tap into the knowledge of your local realtor, who hopefully has years of experience. You may not want to hire a new person, and they'll be able to guide you through the process, present some items that another realtor may not be able to do because of the lack of training, lack of knowledge, lack of years in the business. What could change this low inventory situation? Well, mortgage rates, if they fall significantly, we're going to have even less inventory. So in a way, I understand about falling rates, but rates need to go higher because we have a national debt of $38 trillion. And we need more people to come into the market who have a lot of equity, who would have a low percentage of their mortgage, and they'll be putting more cash into the deal. This could increase new home construction. As long as mortgage rates fall, that's a possibility, so it would cost builders less to build. Economic changes affecting homeowner decisions. You have to decide, do you want to be near your children? Maybe one of your spouses have passed away. You want to reduce your costs. All sorts of variables that would make you want to move. More retirees are downsizing. Investors selling large portions of their portfolios because they're not making the same money. The cash flow has been reduced or it's gone into the negative zone and it no longer pays to hold on to that property. Government policies aimed at increasing housing supply, they got to offer benefits to those contractors, those developers. Maybe special financing for developers so they could put more lower cost housing on it. Smaller housing, maybe 1,800 square feet, or those small homes that they're creating that some people are buying that are 500 to 1,000 square feet. That would help getting more buyers into the market. Predictions for the next 12 months. Well, inventory likely is to improve gradually, but not dramatically. Competition will remain pretty damn strong for most move-in ready homes. Affordability challenges will continue influencing buyer behavior. If rates go up, it's going to cost the market more buyers. But if somehow the rates go down, more will get into the market. But again, they got to get in quickly because those will affect increased prices. Local market conditions will determine winners and losers. Those that can afford to buy will continue to come into the market. Those that can't sit back on the fence, either stay in a rental or their in-laws' houses, or they'll move out of New York State completely. Opportunities will exist for both buyers and sellers who understand the market, have the knowledge, and do their homework and their due diligence. If you're thinking about buying, but worried about competition, it's a common thing that will occur. Wondering if now is the right time to sell. Every market is different and timing matters. Contact me for a personalized analysis of your local housing market. Call Phil at Turnkey Real Estate. Then you go to my website, search the market, li-realestate.com. You can subscribe for my weekly housing market updates and real estate insights. Send me your name, your email, your cell number to Phil at turnkeyrealestate.com. It will also include for free, no obligation, no strings attached, or a monthly newsletter. Most importantly, our weekly real estate column that goes out to 141,000 subscribers. And we'll also give you as a bonus our bi-monthly magazine, which will provide you a lot of information about real estate and other important things that you might want to read about. Thanks, and have a lucrative day. If you can't wait for my next video, click on the next one that you see in this video.